The stock market dropped by 12% in just 1 week after Trump introduced the tariffs. And ever since, economy experts are predicting that Europe could face a crisis like the 2008 market crash. But with great crises come great opportunities. And this year, I've already made over 30,000 euros. So in this video, I will show you what these rising tariffs really mean for the future of Europeans, but more importantly, how to protect yourself from the crisis and use it to your advantage to come out of it richer than before. So now, let's rapidly break down why these tariffs could drag Europe into another financial crisis. Since he became president, Trump has been creating instability on multiple fronts and kind of acts like a child that wants to get attention. He tries to be louder and louder. Except in this case, these power tantrums have global repercussions. He first imposed the tariffs on every country in the world, forcing them to negotiate on his terms. Then he clashed with Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, pressuring him to lower interest rates, even though the economy wasn't ready. And now he's taken military action in the Middle East, bombing Iran, and then flexing it on his social network. So what Trump has been doing over the last month is to generate a lot of instability and uncertainty. First in the US and then across the world. And whether we like it or not, the global economy is very US-centric, and especially here in Europe, we cannot function without it. I mean, just think about your phone, computer, and series you watch on Netflix. They're all American products. This volatility is already shaking the markets, and in August he will probably change the tariffs once again, and we cannot predict what else Trump will do in the future and how it will affect the economy. This is why many economists are sounding the alarm. They believe we could be heading towards a global crisis. This could result in a situation a lot like in 2008, when millions of Europeans lost their jobs, their homes, and hundreds of thousands of euros. So the question isn't if it's coming, it's whether you're prepared, not just to survive the crisis, but to come out ahead. But how do you do that? To answer this question, let's go back to 2008. Millions of Europeans lost money in the stock market. Worldwide, people lost over $34 trillion. That is enough money to build a tower of €1 coins that would reach the planet Venus and almost make it back to Earth. That's just how massive losses were. But here's the thing. Some people didn't lose money at all. Some came out completely untouched or even profited from it. The fact is, most people made the exact same mistake. The worst mistake you could ever make during a financial crisis. Picture this. You wake up one morning, you check your investment account, and everything is in red. You're losing a lot of money because a new crisis started. You start to panic. Now you feel like you have to stop the bleeding, otherwise you will lose everything you own. You have to act now. So, like millions of others, you hit sell on all your investments. This is what experts call panic selling. And this means financial suicide. It's the single biggest financial mistake anyone could ever do. But why is panic selling such a bad idea? And what should you do instead? The fact is that selling during a crash would be a good strategy only if the financial market could collapse forever. But that is extremely unlikely. A global economic collapse would mean no more banks, no functioning governments, no food supply chains, no electricity, no healthcare systems. In a situation like this, money wouldn't matter. We'd be talking about surviving. And in reality, this doesn't happen. Just look at 2020, 2008, 2001, and all the other crises. After some time, the markets always recovered and climbed even higher than before. So yes, crises will continue to happen, and the markets will crash. But we know that history always repeats itself, and it teaches us that the market will recover from it and continue growing every single time. So if you sell your investments during a crisis, you are selling at a low price. This only guarantees one thing, that you are losing money. So instead, the smartest move is to do nothing, as counterintuitive as that may feel. Actually, don't even look at your investment portfolio during a crisis. Just trust the process and know that it will pass, as it always does, and the market will go up again. So the only thing worse than a crisis is panicking during one. Now, if you also follow this second point, you could make tens of thousands of euros during a crisis. Just in the first few months of 2025, I made over 30,000 euros from it. It's not the first time I have used this strategy, and I got consistent results every time. I used it in 2020 during COVID, and again in 2022 during the Ukraine war. During these two periods, I've made over 50,000 euros. The best part is this strategy is so simple and easy that anyone can use it, and so can you. And I'm not the only one who says it. Warren Buffett, the best investor of all time, also follows this exact same principle. So what is this principle? So far, we have established that during a crisis, the market goes down, but eventually it will go up again. That's why you should never panic sell. Instead, to prepare for a crisis, you should always have some liquidity, some cash available ahead of time. This way, when the crisis hits and everything is in red, you can use that cash to invest while prices are low. It's basically a stock market sale. It's like buying a house at half the price and then selling it sometime after for double the price when the market recovers. Of course, sometimes you might have to wait a couple years to see big returns. But in other cases, like what happened to me this year, it can take just a couple of months. But either way, this strategy can easily make you a lot of money with minimal risk. But here is where most people get it wrong and end up losing all their money. Imagine you're going fishing. You know there is a huge fish in the lake, so you stand there observing, waiting for the perfect moment to cast your line. You keep thinking, maybe now? No, not yet. I throw the line when I'm sure the big one is passing. So you wait, and wait, and wait. Meanwhile, right next to you, your friend is casting his line every few minutes. He's catching fish after fish. Sure, they're small, but at least he's catching something, and you've got nothing. By the end of the day, his bucket is full and yours is as empty as when you arrived. Well, that's exactly what happens when people try to time the market. They wait for that perfect moment.
I will wait and sell when it's high and buy when it's low. I'm going to make a lot of money.
But that moment never comes, and while they wait, others are quietly building wealth. The truth is, you can't outsmart the market. Not even Warren Buffett can do it. So just don't waste time and money trying to guess the perfect moment. You will likely get it wrong and miss real opportunities while you hesitate. So what should you do instead? So first, keep some liquidity ready as we just saw before. Secondly, just keep investing consistently, every month, as if there was no financial crisis. In fact, this strategy, called dollar cost averaging, has been statistically proven to deliver the best results over time. By investing a little bit each month, you smooth out the market fluctuations and your long-term performance stays solid, crisis or no crisis. Now, this last point might be the simplest, but it could be the one that saves you during a crisis. Imagine you're visiting London for the first time. You don't know the city, so you rely on your phone for directions. But then, halfway through the day, your battery dies. Now you're lost somewhere in the middle of London, wishing you had a simple power bank. And so you have to take an expensive taxi back to your hotel just to charge your phone. Well, that's what could happen to you during a financial crisis if you're not prepared. Without a financial cushion to protect you, you could be forced to do the most expensive thing possible, selling your investments during a crisis, when the prices are low, just to get some money to pay for your expenses. So how do you actually build that cushion? Well, it's super simple. Build an emergency fund that covers at least 3 months of living expenses. That way, when a crisis hits, you can cover your needs without touching your investments. But the truth is, financial crises are just one of many financial traps you will face in your life. And some traps are even worse, keeping you stuck, living paycheck to paycheck for years or even forever. This is why I've made this video. It breaks down the biggest financial traps you will surely face, and most importantly, how to avoid them. So if you want to keep making more money and take control of your financial future, you will definitely want to watch this video.